Something like that happens, how does it affect you as a journalist? You know, does this make you want to go on and struggle on harder, or do you sometimes feel like giving it all up?
Never been deterred, never wanted to give it all up. Television and journalism have been a good living. They've shown me things in the world that I would never have gotten to see, and even better than the people I'm covering, because often they're traveling under diplomatic security or they're away from the people, and when my job is finished with them, I'm able to go out and really experience things in a country. So I've never been discouraged enough, though there's certainly those moments we all face when we say, what, am I crazy or something? Why am I doing this? Last year it was Hurricane Andrew, and I was going down the Florida Turnpike, and we're the only ones on the road, you know, going in. On the other side, there's like 18 miles of traffic going out. You wonder, or when you're covering 3 Mile Island, you know, the nuclear disaster in the late 70s in Pennsylvania, and you're going in, and everybody else is coming out, you wonder, am I in my right mind to be doing this? But so far, I've never been hurt, never been injured, been close. I was attacked in Somalia in December by a man with a knife, but escaped unscathed. So it's not my time yet, you know.
Is it difficult juggling your job and the responsibility that comes with it with family life?
Of course, yeah. That's always been an issue, and as a broadcaster, you'll know that we're on the air when everyone else is home. And no matter when you do your program, if it's morning, if it's breakfast time, you get there 4:30 in the morning and go on in America at 9 o'clock or 6 a.m. or something, that most people are waking up. They wake up and turn on the television. And of course, doing the news in the evening, either 5, 6, or 11 in New York, and you're there when people are getting home, or at 11 o'clock, I often say that people see me through their toes, you know. They just watch the television with a remote control, and then they turn it off. So the hours are bad, but then I can't complain. I met my wife. I was already a reporter. We've been married for 15 years, and she's used to the reporter's life, you know, and my children were born after I was already doing this, and they've grown up in television studios just about, and they find what I do to be interesting, and I think that there won't be any way I'll be able to keep them out of this business in some form, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, you spoke of being afforded the opportunity to travel to many places, including South Africa, you mentioned Somalia, Guatemala. From your own experience and the things that you would have seen being in those countries, how has it affected you and opened up your whole outlook as a person and a journalist?
Well, whenever you see any culture that is different from ours, from mine, from the American culture, and the American culture is metamorphic, who knows what it is, because the people do come from everywhere, but there is something distinctly American. First thing I have to say is that people of African descent are in trouble worldwide, everywhere. It's not just America, it's not only in the Caribbean, and though the Caribbean governments are led by blacks, often controlled by foreign interests, colonial interests, same in Africa. And when you go to South Africa and you see a country that certainly belongs to the people who are black, and the conditions they live in compared to the conditions of the whites are atrocious. When you see a place like Soweto or Alexandra Township, Alexandra Township is about 2 square miles. 250,000 people live in it, at ground level, no high-rises. That's urban congestion that's unbelievable. When there's one hospital in Soweto for 3 million people, I believe, Baragwanath Hospital, is unbelievable. And to think that that land, that nation, so rich, so diverse, so large, it covers the entire southern end of the African continent and produces more than 50% of the gross domestic product of the entire continent, even in the recession it's in today. That country is not led by the people who certainly are indigenous and belong to the land. It's a situation, I've described it like this. I think it was not unlike having the colonialists come to America, and the Native Americans, the Indians, said, oh, but you know, you can't own the land and the water and the sky. We can share it. But it didn't work like that. They didn't understand ownership the way the European had it structured. So that's troubling. That's troubling, and that's always going to trouble me as I travel around.
Okay, well, given what you've said, of course,